Bang, bang. Welcome everybody to the Bodycast. Yes, this is the official podcast for the subreddit r/rap battles. My name is Copacetic, and with me today is nobody because your boy Pathogenic, he's on a flight right now back to his home of Alberta, and that is where Pathogenic is from. But we don't hold it against him. So yeah, I mean, he's just recovering from an amazing battle he had last night, I assume. So taking that flight, and we're just gonna do an abbreviated bodycast today. So if you're expecting the long form episode, uh, if you were looking at the title of this episode, you might think that we were going to cover a bunch of Mike Masters stuff and maybe even the pandemic. That's not really true. Would even be prudent. Might say it would be prudent for us to discuss Outside 2, as that's happening next weekend. It's a massive card in URL. But we're not going to do that either. It's all an illusion. We're going to be talking about Set the Bar's fully loaded event that happened last night, and all that entails, because it's a Canadian battle rap type of day today. This is r/rap battles is, of course, the largest online forum for the international culture of battle rap. You can find us on Reddit, Twitter, Instagram, and the official Discord server in the links below. It's the only place for fans to go for battle rap news from around the globe. And yeah, well, what can I say? Shouts out to everybody watching. It's very redeeming to go to a battle rap event and hear people name drop BattleBot. This is an AI that I built with my own two hands, and yeah, he's getting his just due. What's up? Censored in the house, my guy. What's up, G? Oh yeah, as well as Set the Bar doing a fully loaded event last night. Capital Rap Battles had a coinciding event, Blood Force Trauma 3. I think it's 2 or 3. And so Canadian battle rap fucking popping this weekend. Anyways, thank you for tuning in. You guys are the best, and we are the best. It's just me today, but still, it's all top tier stuff, If you don't know me, I'm a battle rapper, king of the dot, all that shit. I ran the Vancouver division for a couple years. It was fun. And so I've seen all the things. I've filmed battles. I've covered battles. I've done media on battles. I worked for Battlerap.com. I've been around. I've been doing it for a bit. And if you're watching this show, then obviously you care about high quality international battle rap, and then you're also an elite connoisseur of the battle rap form, of the art form, of the sport form. So appreciate you, because you guys are great. Probably also very attractive people and very smart, I would guess. I mean, if we got Censored here, I know him to be both of those things. So lots of people who watch the show, everybody who name dropped the show last night, it's a special thing we're doing. It's a special, silly, but special thing that we're doing, and I appreciate everybody. But if you would like to take this experience to heights never before reached, this is going to be the greatest battle rap podcast you've ever engaged with. So just tuck that gem away. And, today we're just going to give flowers like a boutonniere. And if you want to take it to the next level, join me now for the community cheers. And we cheers. Hey, cheers. Shouts out to Kaylee. She knows what's up. Community cheers. Real shit. Wow, what an amazing event. What a crazy... it was so much that happened. And this show is going to be covering that. So the show should be to some fraction of the craziness. Where to start? Set the Bar, if you don't know, is a battle rap league out of Vancouver. and they've only got, what does it look like here? It's like 7 events. So, they've been around not that long, just a couple years now. And through the pandemic, it's been very challenging. I know that. And especially with the lack of KOTD events, it's been it's been it's been a fun adventure, we'll say, bringing Canadian battle rap up to speed with the rest of the world. And I know that there's a lot of countries that are dealing with that. We will talk about that as well. I don't want to forget very big news that I will announce at the end of this short, abbreviated Bodycast. Huge news, and I'm super, super excited, but we'll get to that later. First things first, announcements. Oh boy, so many announcements, mostly for Outside 2, which we're not going to cover. So that's the end of that. What's next? Emerson Kennedy versus A Ward was announced for Mike Masters. And Mike Masters is dope. If you don't know, Mike Masters has been around. It seems like Marv 1 versus Disaster was this big thing that happened recently, and they had a big, it's a great show. It's the best show. That show last night, that was also a good show. This show, also the best show. But yes, thank you, Karen. And Mike Masters is old school. It seems like with their recent, I want to say resurgence, they did these big events, these large events, Disaster versus Marv 1, and then we're seeing here A Ward versus Emerson Kennedy. They're like, hey, if they've got consistent financial backing and they're able to continue throwing these cards, they're gonna make some noise as one of the bigger leagues operating in the States. We'll see how that goes, because consistency is it's hard to do, and especially in the States, there's a lot going on with their economy. There's a lot going on with battle rap economy. Oh man, battle rap economy, battle rap inflation. I can't even begin to describe. I could, but then you would know that I don't know what I'm talking about. So good luck to them. If you are on the subreddit and you don't have a personalized flair, then you can go over to the sidebar and you can edit your flair. And you can actually get a Mike Masters flair, which is crazy because they've been around that long. I mean, all of the flair that we instituted, we just fucking haven't updated it because it's a headache and I don't want to. It's such a, and I don't have the skills for it. I mean, my God, it's all this flair. Like, look at this. You can get a picture of Awkwards. Like, that's hardly relevant now. For some reason, there's who's that guy? Most Prob. There's King of the Ronalds flair. There's A-Hat flair. There's Crazier Than Crazy Glue flair, which is going to be relevant forever. So let's just take that out of the conversation. Texas Battle League. So basically, I uploaded these flair in 2012. Supernova. You remember Supernova from Maestro Metaphorics in the East Coast? Yo, this is going back. God Beef. We even got God Beef, which is terrible. It's that Australian league that was run by a person of ill repute. We shall not go into that. Man, just the craziest flair. Just the oldest pit fights. Shaka Pitts, I think he's still doing stuff. Shouts out to him. Ozone Battle League in, I want to say the Netherlands. I want to say Sweden, something like that. Art of War, Poison Pen TV. I don't think that's active anymore. There's the Malaysian Battle Rap League. Like, it's old flair is what I'm saying. It's like I haven't done it in a long time, and I'm not going to update it because it's a slice of a period in time. So we're going to leave that as is. But Mike Masters, they're doing it big, and if they continue to do it big, then they will be bigger. So we're going to keep an eye on them. Looks cool though. Emerson Kennedy's dope. A Ward's dope, and they seem to be handling their biz. So fuck it. Outside 2's next weekend. Bunch of battles there. Boy howdy, look at all the names. Prep is back. How does that happen? I need to have somebody else here to talk to about this, because that just blows my mind how somebody could be such a I don't know if canceled is the word, but was just destroyed by the community and seems to have rekindled his career almost instantaneously. And now he's on a big URL card. So, shit, fuck, I don't even know what to say about that. That's really impressive. I guess so. Shouts out to Prep. All of him, every single one of him. Yeah. So let's get into it, shall we? We'll do Battle of the Week at the end with a special announcement, which is going to be fun. Set the Bar is, like I said, Canadian Battle Rap League out of Vancouver. And, Vancouver's got some talent. Vancouver's got some guys. G-Show, if you don't know. Mike Wild is a good name out there. It's here. And Chronic Walters, I like Chronic Walters a lot. And Ellipsis, Barjay, and Ellipsis. Ellipsis is probably the guy who is most well known from this league, having been on King of the Dot before many times. He's battled lots of big names: Thesaurus, Sketch Menace, Lou Cipher, Chilla Jones, Real Deal. He's like the guy in Vancouver. And, people have always had, great love for him, great respect for him and his pen and his ability. Maybe people were a little nitpicky about performance things or, how people are. But fuck those people, because the shit that Ellipsis does and has done for the scene in Vancouver is, unequaled. There's nobody who's had an impact in the culture as much as he has, and that's the reason that this event happened like it did, because Ellipsis is an established name, and he's battling Pathogenic as the headliner, and Pathogenic is just establishing himself right now with his debut on King of the Dot at the Pat Stay Forever event, the charity event, where he battled XQZ and did very well. So, no bias, but Pathogenic is one of the best, I think, period. I just, big fan. I'm a big fan of his, don't tell him. This is the marquee. This is the headline battle. This is the big draw at the fully loaded event, Set the Bar, that happened last night. Ellipsis versus Pathogenic. Now they got Barjay versus CJA. This is another good battle. Big fan of both those guys. Patron versus Sully. We sort of covered this in a couple episodes ago, so I don't want to get too deep into it. But it was a good event. Vancouver has a history of having really good vibe to their events, even if the battles aren't all great. And you know what? Let's go. What's up, Hollis? Bang, bang. I'm just going to be 1,000% real with you. So I'm going to probably lose some friends on this. And you know what? That's the way the cookie crumbles, because I'm going to do an absolutely hardcore, ruthless assassination. I'm gonna just tell it like it is for what happened at this event last night. First of all, new venue for this league, and a great venue, just spectacular. I think great step up from the previous venue. No shade to them, but this is like in the middle of downtown. It's a bigger venue. It's more reputable. It feels like the smoke pit was like directly outside, so you had windows and you could see in when you needed to stop smoking and come in and watch the battles. Just the setup was really good, and the people are really good. There's a good atmosphere. Shout out to Sparka and Love Force. They turned that whole thing around. Our scene in Vancouver used to be kind of stupid. It's harsh cope today. It's not copacetic. It used to be like fights and bullshit and mean mugging, and I remember it was not super pleasant to go. I think I made a post this week about how the first show I went to was Thesaurus and Immaculate versus Manic and Spite for the Grand Prix 2-on-2s that King of the Dot was doing. And if you don't remember that one, it like almost turns to violence between them. It's pretty crazy. Actually, you should watch that one. You can see me in the background with long hair. It's crazy. Actually, don't watch that now that I think about it. that was a long time ago where violence was kind of a thing at battle rap events. And I'm glad that we moved past that. We really entered the Love Force era thanks to Sparka and Willie B. And what they brought to the table was, a really engaged community that focuses on taking care of each other. And really that's what the strength of battle rap is about, building community with each other and creating a safe environment for artists to express themselves and grow and develop and do something else with their lives, gain some skills, and then go on to monetize those skills in something other than battle rap. That is the process. So shouts out to everybody who came through. Just immaculate vibes, just spectacular. I had nothing bad to say about the crowd. I think everybody was very well behaved. They're very battle rap knowledgeable. So great crowd. Lots of guys came out from other places. We had representatives from Washington State. We had representatives from Alberta, and we had people coming out from Toronto, which is really far away. So shouts out to all those guys making the trip, and like some decent battles. So here's what it is. And this is ruthless. Coleslaw versus Billy Shakes in the bottom. I love Billy Shakes. He had a little stumble, I think, or something like that. I don't even care. He's very funny. He's very consistent. And he knows how to get a reaction out of the crowd. I like that. Coleslaw is a newer, younger battler on this league, and she is spectacular. Very much outside the box, unique battler. She comes from a poetry background, which there's battlers who do that. Harry Baker, Scoop, Rupert Common. There are lots of battlers who come from the sort of poetry side of things and then do a little dabbling. We love it. We love to dabble. There's quite a lot of dabs going on, so a dabble is not a step too far. And she did really well. I think I was like dealing with some stuff, so I didn't get to see all of that. But I heard she had an antic in the third that killed, and you know how I feel about antics. Great. So I'm a huge fan, and I'm looking forward to seeing that on YouTube. Trippy Hippie versus Aaron. Aaron, I got the name wrong. This is a slogan, and I fucked it up. Aaron, I'm a big fan of. I think that he's been leveling up and feeling more confident, finding himself, and that's really important because I feel like he has all the tools, and we're just looking to see him reach that level. You have an expectation, you have a belief in the potential of these artists, and we'll get into that. But when you see them execute at their potential, there's nothing better. It's a great fulfillment you can have from developing talent and then seeing them meet those expectations. But Trippy Hippie I'd never seen before, and I was expecting a Trippy Hippie. I was expecting like a weird, gangly, tie-dye wearing, peace sign. I was expecting a Trippy Hippie. I was expecting this guy to be on drugs and crazy. He looked completely normal. He looked like a clean-cut guy. He's from Capital Rap Battles, so check him out. Check out Capital Rap Battles. Subscribe to their shit, too. But damn, he was great. He had jokes. He had bars. He had great cadence. He was very funny. He was very engaging. He had good volume. And that's something we're going to talk about a lot. I really liked him. I'm a Trippy Hippie fan. And so I said to him, so if you see him, thumbs up. Check it out. Peep him. See what's happening. I'm going to look forward to seeing him progress and get bigger names and see where he takes his craft, because I fucking really liked it. He had a thing about making fun of Aaron said something about a double-decker dick or something like that, and he made it very, you sort of walk that line of pause-worthy stuff and make it entertaining. It was beautiful. I really enjoyed it. A lot of surprise. That's what it is, right, guys? It's expectation and surprise. You've got to take the audience. You have to take the audience. It's your job as an MC to take the audience, to take their attention and to do stuff with it so that they react. It's nobody else's job. That's your job. Famously, I battled on World Domination, and I got smoked. I got fucking killed. And afterwards, everybody was like, "Oh man, you know, there's like 10 people in the audience. How can you be, you know, don't beat yourself up." There was like nobody in the audience. They were sleeping on you. I'm like, that's no excuse. No, your job as an MC is to entertain people, is to take those 10 people and flip the switch in their brain that makes them react and go crazy. And if you can't do that, then you need to work on your shit. You need to get back to the basics, fundamentals. Gotta get to the fundamentals. Anyways, I digress. Check that out, Trippy Hippie versus AA Run. Excited for that. Trippy Hippie, check him out. So Trippy Hippie from Capital Rap Battles, I don't know if he's from Ottawa or not. There seems to be, it's kind of like nebulous all over the place. There's a lot of different cities in and around that area. So guys will represent leagues but come from different places. And we'll get to that as well. But this next battle, for example, is Wendigo versus Johnny Knox. Johnny Knox from Alberta, Wendigo from Ontario, I think. I'm pretty sure. So, you know, Wendigo's been around too. He's not new to the scene at all. And he's got a great battle with Wise Guy on Beast Mode. Go check that out. We do the community cheers. Let's cheers again. I'm parched as fuck. I need a co-host. I need somebody to take the burden off me, or that I might hydrate. I just lost all the viewers. But Johnny Knox is a very competent rapper. He's a guy who bars out. He's a guy who's a writer's writer. You know, he likes to fucking rap. He's a rapper. And, you know, I'm a fan of his. I had him probably going to beat Wendigo in this. And I was shocked because it did not turn out that way. It was kind of a messy battle. In fact, and I want to address it. Man, we're going to get into it. Wendigo started his rounds and he was like, "Can you hear me in the back?" And good projection, good volume, you know, you can feel that. That's an energy that you can feel in the audience. And I thought, holy fuck, this is the one thing missing from his game. Like, I think, you know, everybody can improve in many different ways, but Wendigo specifically is somebody who could really benefit from a little uptick in volume, just a little bit louder. I mean, we all could, but specifically for him, I know he gets kind of whispery. He gets in his bars and he starts doing this, and it's just like, oh, that might be cool on camera, but you're doing nothing for the rest of the audience. So when I heard him get loud, I thought, this is going to be it. This is going to be good. And he did start loud, and then he kind of lost his volume and started to get back into that thing. So it's progress, but I'm looking for more volume. You know, it's like there's so much made of, oh, you're just yelling. Oh, you're just battlers. You're just a battler who just yells. Your whole shtick is that you're loud. Yeah, if you're not going to be loud, then the guy who's going to be loud is going to beat you a lot. Like, if you can't wrap your mind around that as a battle rapper, you're fucking going nowhere. You need to be loud. You need to be heard. That's kind of important. You're fucking manipulating people's minds, you know, putting your fucking magic spells out there and getting the brain chemistry popping in people's minds. And if they can't hear you, that's not happening. You're not going to get a reaction. You're not going to build a fan base. It doesn't matter what you say. If you're fucking whispering your shit. Anyways, it's a theme. Johnny, I thought he had some great stuff. He said, air the grip like a force choke, and I went crazy. There were lots of those little like bars in there, but he was doing a lot of rapping, and it was a lot of the similar stuff. It was a lot of like, here's some fucking great bars, and here's some great fucking bars, and here's some bars. And you could tell, and I told him this right after the battle, when he dipped into his comedy, when he did a little bit of making fun of him, when he did a little bit of roasting him, the audience ate it up, and they were rapt, and they were hooked. And that's an important takeaway, because when you do this art form, that's the most important thing, is you've got to hook the audience. So you've seen it done with other battlers, where what you do is you can create some sort of angle or narrative or some sort of roasting where you get the audience into it, and then you build some momentum up so that when you punch, when you do your rapping shit, it hits a lot harder because you've got everybody's attention. But if you're just rapping and the audience gets into a habit of predicting what you're going to do next, and then you do it, you're going to lose them. You're not going to get the biggest reaction. You're going to get a lot of muted reactions. You're going to get a lot of, It's like, I know it was good, but there was no momentum behind it. So all you get is a, And that's tough, man. I've been there a billion times, God knows. But it's got to be dynamic. You got to keep it dynamic. So I know Johnny's a competitor. He's a fucking battle rapper. He's going to take this and he's going to come back strong. Wendy, I thought, had a very varied performance, a very varied performance, a very, very varied performance. He was switching it up a lot, but just sometimes a little too quiet. And also in the third round, when Johnny was rapping, he started doing this. He does this gimmick where he takes his shirt off and there's another shirt underneath, and he takes that shirt off and there's another shirt underneath, and it's like it gets a reaction from the crowd. Everybody's like, oh, and then they start laughing and then talking about it, and it starts creating this thing. But it's during your opponent's round. And I didn't get a chance to talk to Wendy after this, and I will talk to him if he wants to. This is not something I would say behind his back. This is something I'd tell to his face. Gimmicks are awesome, but you do it during your round. If you do gimmicks and antics during somebody else's round, it's kind of unsportsmanlike. It's not really fair. It's not the first time he's done it either. This is sort of his thing. And it leaves a bad taste in my mouth because you have a potential for a good battle here. And now your opponent, people aren't paying attention to him. He's flustered. You're not doing this in the pursuit of a good piece of content. You're doing this to win. And I think that's kind of like gross. I don't fuck with that. Winning doesn't matter. It's short-sighted. Losing is fucking amazing if you can handle it. But winning just to win, as opposed to creating a great piece of content, that's really what it's about, right? What are we doing here? We're trying to have a good time. We're trying to create great battles. And if your goal is to just fuck up your opponent or have your opponent, take away from their momentum, it hurts the overall vibe. So, that battle was it didn't live up to my highest expectations, but I know that Johnny's going to learn from it, and I know that Wendy's going to learn from it, and we're going to see better versions of them next time. So, worth it. The next battle was Chronic Walters versus Xavier. I know when we did the rundown, I said Chronic Walters is better than Xavier, and if Xavier doesn't come 1,000%, then he's going to get smoked. And Xavier did not come 1,000%, and he had a choke. He had a choke in his second round. Wasn't very good. He had some good material, but it was mostly really not very strong material, and he had a lot of difficulty both being loud and engaging with the crowd. And those are the things you have to do. Again, it's a theme. If you're going to be quiet, nobody's going to fucking hear you, and you can't make them react. So it's tough. It's tough. I know, especially for Xavier, who is the champion of capital rap battles. There's another layer of responsibility when you're the champ of a league and you go to another league to represent. He's got to come out here and he's got to put, capital rap battles on his back and fucking show out, say, hey, this is my league and we're fucking dope. And instead, he had a weak performance and he choked and he didn't do well. So I hope it's a learning experience for him. Nothing but love for CRB and Xavier. There's a lot of responsibility being the champ, and hopefully he takes that into consideration for his next battle. Hopefully it motivates him to step up his game in a lot of different ways, because this is battle rap shit. There was a point at which he was like, I'm not really a battle rapper, I'm a rapper. This is just some shit I do for fun. And it's like, that's cool, but you're going to get smoked. You're going to get smoked by real battle rappers. If you try to fucking battle and you're like, I'm not really a battle rapper, you're going to get eaten alive by the people who are. And Chronic Walters is a fucking battle rapper. So I don't think it was Chronic Walters' strongest performance. Not my favorite Chronic Walters. Go check out Chronic Walters versus G-Show. Go check out Chronic Walters versus Mike Wild. Go check out Chronic Walters versus Franchise. Those are really good battles. But I think this is a thing. This is a thing that Chronic Walters did, and I'll tell him to his face, like I said. I booked him before for a match that, as a promoter, I didn't inspire him enough. The match wasn't inspiring enough, and he sort of kind of just sort of like did it. It wasn't really, a statement game from him, but it was enough to win. So kind of disappointed on that one too. Just sorry, I'm getting fucking cold hard facts cope today. I don't know what it is. I got like 3 hours of sleep, so. Yeah, I'm looking forward to both those guys rebounding, especially if Chronic gets motivated for his next opponent, and Xavier learns from this, or he's gonna lose the fucking championship because I don't know what's going on in CRB, but this guy's the champ, and he's out here choking. You gotta remedy that. That's not cool at all. But I think the thing too was when I talked to Mike about how he was booking this card, it was a lot about building, relationships and ties to Canadian Battle Rap. You can see who were the people who came out for the card are all affiliated with different, leagues and people that we're all friends with, and created that network of Canadian Battle Rap. I think that this card really executed on that, and full respect to Mike for doing that, because it's very difficult to do. There's a lot of politics involved, and I think he navigates it very well. He's very good at that. But this match did not work out. Patron versus Sully was the next match, and this one was great. I was loving this one. Okay, Patron, obviously, he's a vet. It might as well be a home game for him because he comes up here and battles all the time. I think he's had more battles up here than he has in fucking Washington recently. I don't know. Don't quote me on that. But Patron's great. He knows what he's doing. I don't know if he was super motivated for this. You can't really tell, but he was good. He was good, Patron. Not the best Patron, but he was good. Sully, on the other hand, he's one of those guys where when you see him, kill it for a round, you're like, there's something there. He's got it if he can tap into it consistently. And I think he's had a lot of trouble over the years finding that consistency. And every once in a while, he'll have one of those performances and you'll be like, yes, this guy's ceiling is really fucking high, actually. That was last night. He was in it. He was in it. He was loud. He had presence. He had a physicality. He was moving. He had energy. And that energy that you don't understand is not just volume, it's energy. And when you're using that energy to manipulate the crowd, to emphasize your words and your punchlines, it hits harder and it has a more visceral effect on the audience. And that's what you want. And he hit that shit. He was in the pocket. He was fucking rapping. He had this angle about, oh man, his angle in the third was beautiful. It was so universal, so understandable. Everybody in the audience was on his side instantly. And he used that sort of jokey angle roasting bit to lead into his rapping and his bars, which were hitting like crazy. So, that's the cheat code. There it is, right in front of you. We spoiled it. There, battle rap is over. What you got to do is get the audience's attention and then beat them up. You can't just hit them with a bunch of bars and hope that they react. You need to really work hard to get their attention and use surprise. And Trippy Hippie was good at this too. And Wendy did some of this as well. It's great. Is you show them the left, hit them with the right. There has to be an element of expectation subverted with surprise. And I think Sully did that very well. And I thought just career performance for him. I'm really excited to see him. His next battle, I think he should get a big opponent. And I mean, what more could you want? This is something that I've been looking forward to for forever. Sully on 10, we got it. So it's very dangerous. I think, a few more performances like this where he's really at the top of his game and bar it out. And hey, nice. And yeah, Sully is very, very dangerous. Somebody we should watch out for. Shouts out to Hey Battle Rap. Hey Battle Rap, if you don't know, he's prolific on Twitter. Just speaking of boutonnieres, just giving out flowers, just highlighting the positive things that are happening in the culture, and cannot tell you how important that is or how difficult that is. It's really difficult not to be positive all the time, especially in battle rap, and it's such an important aspect of what we do. There's so many people who want to be in the limelight, and there's not enough people who want to be pushing from behind the scenes. And so you've got to respect those people uh, who are pushing the artists who are behind the scenes and trying to help the engagement and the appreciation for the battle rappers who are putting in a ton of work and probably not getting paid equal to the work they do. That is not a shade on any league either. That is literally the landscape of battle rap that we live in. There's a great conversation between Organic and Quest McCody on Twitter if you want to find that shit, and they're talking about battlers getting paid and how to establish the battlers' value and licensing rights and all this cool stuff about the future of battle rap. Maybe we get a union, maybe we get all sorts of things. There's a whole lot of stuff that we could still do to make this culture more professional and more better ROI for the artists. And I think that's the biggest thing is you get a lot of these artists who are incredibly talented and they spend a lot of time honing their craft, and it's useless to them. Um, they go out and become plumbers. They go out and get in finance and then leave battle rap forever. It's because there's no lane here for really like taking care of your family and building a life around it yet. So that conversation is evolving, and keep an eye out because it's a beautiful conversation. And we're really here at the beginning of battle rap culture. So there's a lot of room for growth here. And there's a lot of places we can go. It's really exciting. Check out that Twitter thread. Quest and Organic had a very civil and earnest conversation about rights for battlers, and it's a beautiful thing. It's really probably the most important thing in battle rap right now. We're throwing events, we're having legends come out of retirement. Pandemic is over. We're recruiting new talent. We're developing talent. We got old stars coming back. But the main issue with the culture that we need to fix is artist compensation and finding a way to stabilize that or make it more legitimate. So shouts out to those guys. What else am I talking about here? Okay. Bar J versus CJA. I'm not calling any of this, but Bar J is a battle rapper. He studies the craft. He works really hard. He cares a lot about it. I'm gonna take a break. And I love him to death. Fuck it. Um, you know, just quality person. He's gone through a lot of personal adversity, and he just loves battle rap. And so this is a look for him. Let's be real. He's not on social media a lot. He doesn't promote his brand a lot. He cares about being in the ring and how good he is in the ring. And CJ is not the opposite, but CJ is very much a personality in the culture, and his promo game is very good because he's got a lot of material. He's battling all the time, and he's doing great stuff. He's a real battle rapper. He gets in the ring and he engages with the audience. He feels, where how you can read the room as a battle rapper and sort of understand what's going to hit and what's not going to hit. He does that very well. He's developed that sense, and he is a performer. He is loud as fuck. And Bar J sold a ton of tickets, sold like 50 tickets. He had his whole crew there, and CJA was fighting back, and it's a masterclass in performance. CJA is electric to watch, and he had a lot of great references, local references, a lot of great bars, and considering the travel difficulties he had getting here, I thought he had a tremendous performance, and I'm extremely proud of both of them for the battle that they put on. CJA had a lot of issues with the flights and travel, where he barely got to the event on time, and that is a huge thing. If you're a battle rapper, my last battle, I had a fucking terrible choke. It was the worst choke I've ever had in my life. I'd never had a choke before because I was traveling on the day and there were a bunch of travel issues. And that's a legit thing. And I was concerned for him before the battle. I didn't tell him, obviously. but that's a huge issue. If you're traveling on the day of the battle and you're not getting the right amount of sleep, you're not getting the right amount of prep in your mind in the day of the battle, it can be the death knell. It's the death knell. Is that the right? We're going with it. So shouts to CJA for fighting through it. I know he was fighting through it, and he did a fucking great job. I'm hugely proud of him. He's a really good person too. He gives good hugs. Shouts out to both those guys, and yeah, that brings us to the battle of the battle of the event. Really, this is the one that everybody came to see. It's Ellipsis versus Pathogenic. Sort of outlined it before. Ellipsis is, on his way to Canada's #1 spot. I think he's been gunning for it for a bit now, for the last year, and especially with how things unfolded last year, I think he's really looking to secure his place in Canadian battle rap history as a powerhouse, as one of those legendary, Lopeshi, Osa, nameless Kid Twist, like the guys that you think about when you think about Canadian battle rap. Bender and Pat Stage, rest in peace, shouts out to those guys, because his pen game is there, and everything else too. He's really talented. He's a really talented battle rapper, and people know, battle rappers appreciate that and recognize his talent. Disaster in particular, when he saw this battle was announced, he said he had to be there, and actually ended up flying out and co-hosting the battle. So Disaster was there for the whole event, which is amazing. So great to see Disaster sharing his celebrity in a way that highlights, the people in the culture who really fucking do it well, who are real battle rappers who deserve it. And Ellipsis is one of those people, hands down. Not to mention that, he's seen Pathogenic. They both were on the Stay Forever card. So he has an understanding of how big of a battle this is. And I don't think anybody really fully understands how big of a battle it is, because holy crap, it was quite a battle. I don't know how long the rounds were, but it was a beautiful mix of comedy, angles, setups, tension, momentum. There was everything you could possibly want in a battle in this one battle. It's no hyperbole. It was one of the best battles I've ever seen in my life. I thought that Pathogenic was going to have a lot of difficulty matching Ellipsis's pen, and I think that's I think what people thought going into it. And Ellipsis would have a lot of difficulty matching Pathogenic's performance, and it was Ellipsis's best performance and the craziest shit I've ever heard from Pathogenic. Holy fuck. It was electric. I couldn't have asked for a better battle. I think everybody there was just over the moon. It's my goodness. I can't, words fail me. So, look out for that drop on YouTube, because it's a crazy battle. It's super incredible. And, it's funny because the last battle that dropped on this channel that got that much attention is Ellipsis versus Joey Gambello. And I think this one fucking blows that out of the water. No offense to those performances, that's a great battle. But this one is insane. Just my favorite stuff from both those guys. And I can't wait to watch it back and get the other 40% of the stuff that I missed on the day. Oh boy. It's a lot. It's a lot, those two. Anyways, great card. Somebody said this is the best Set the Bar card ever, but I thought, let's not. There was a lot of dry spots on this one. I don't want to jump in here and say, man, that was the best card ever, when it wasn't. But looking back at the other, this is going to sound terrible. Looking back at the other cards, maybe it was. Winter Warfare had Joey Gambello versus Ellipsis, which was just a great battle, and Chicho versus Chronic Walters was just a great battle, and Pepe versus Mike Wild. And then you look at the other cards, and there are like a couple standouts, but nothing that compares to Ellipsis versus Pathogenic. It was by far, it's going to be the best piece of content on this channel. Make sure you're subscribed. Set the Bar Entertainment. Yeah, I don't know what more to say. Fantastic work by all the crew and all of the staff. Shouts out to them. I know they're working really, really hard since there's no KOTD here. So, they deserve all the credit in the world. They've got another event, a development card happening next month, which we're really excited for. But kudos. Thumbs up. You gotta hydrate. So important. And yeah, so Blunt Force 2 or 3, Blunt Force 3 happened in Ottawa. And I'm excited to hear about what happened with that. We'll keep tabs on that. But there's a lot of great Canadian talent battling over there as well. And I was not at that event because it was the same day. So we'll hear back from those guys and make sure that you get their recommendations. Bong Bong, my guy Censored was there. He knows what's up. 3. Blunt Force Trauma 3. Blunt Force Trauma. That's what happens when you smoke too much blunts. Force Trauma. Let's get into it. Battle of the week this week. Father Focus Confucius versus Clax Green dropped on No Coast. Danny Myers versus Vision Gvung. I'm going to say Vision Gung. I'm going to say it's a V that is supposed to be a U, possibly. I don't know. He's a new guy. Watch him explode and be super popular. And everybody's like, oh, it's Vision Gung. I don't know who he is. Danny Myers and him. DNA and Charlie Clips versus Real Sick and Lou Castro from the Stay Forever event dropped. Shotgun Shug versus Young Herb dropped from Bullpen Battles. Real Deal versus Dystopiate from iBattle dropped this week. Cool Real Deal battle. That's dope. Don Marino versus Elijah Straight from Elijah on DNA's channel, which is really cool. It's like sort of a URL collaboration thing. And Quill versus Visual dropped on Premier Battles, Ireland versus the UK. Let's go Ireland, yeah. Great battles, tons of great battles. Last week's winner was Hollow versus Sharon from KOTD. We don't know who will win it this week. Make sure that you go onto the subreddit and vote. Vote with a comment. Vote by, if your battle has already been nominated, then you upvote it. It's very easy. It's a very simple system run by the users. So check that out. And what else we got here? What else? Okay, so yes, a couple of exciting announcements. Disaster was there. It was awesome seeing him. He's great energy to him. And Sketch Menace was there too. So 2 former KOTD champs in the house. Really, really cool. Just to have him there and witness that, and for all the other battlers that get to perform in front of him, that's really special too. So it means a lot, and I hope he knows that coming out to our events and supporting. He's been to Vancouver a few times before, so it's not new to him, but it still means a lot every time he comes. So before it means a lot. Speaking of a lot, great segue. The Lot is the GTX event happening next week, where Disaster is going to be battling next. Next great up-and-coming talent on the West Coast. And, we went through that card too. It's Danny Myers, Cali Smooth, Saint, Active, real name Brandon, Emerson Kennedy. It's a good card, good solid little card. That'll be next weekend in America, in Los Angeles, somewhere in a parking lot, as well as Outside 2. Outside 2 is happening next week. And that should be crazy too, which we'll hear a lot about. But it's not free on caffeine, so I don't think I'll be watching it. I'll probably hear about it later because I don't have the app. Shut my mouth. But I don't bootleg. We don't condone bootlegs either. So pay for your shit or wait for it to come out on YouTube. That's the way we do. Moving on. Something really cool that happened in the culture. Man, this was supposed to be a short episode. What the fuck happened to that? Pat Stay hoodies. Yes, the Pat Stay hoodies. You wanted them with the raptor on it. It says Pat Stay from the Stay Forever event. They're available. Yes, the website is up. We have put it in the doobly-doo, in the little, what do you call that? You press the thing and the information comes out on the bottom of the YouTube thing. In the thing. We put the link there so you can go and check it out and get one if you want one. I don't know how limited they are. I don't know how many they have, but really, really cool hoodie, and all the proceeds go to Pat Stay's family, so it goes to a good cause. Shouts out to Verse Tracker for their events calendar, keeping us in the loop. And here's the most exciting thing that we're going to talk about, that I'm really excited about, is Australian battle rap is back. Oh yeah, you thought it was done? No. Greeley and his team at THC, the channel, are putting on Resurrection. I'm gonna have it here, but I don't know how to put it on the thing, so I'm just gonna show you on my phone. Oh shit, look at that. Resurrection. Greeley versus Dundee. Bro. Dundee is back. And just when you thought it couldn't get better, Vega is back. Vega versus Asthmatic, actually a really dope match. Greeley versus Dundee is actually a really dope match. Obviously, you've seen Vega and Dundee on the King of the Dot, World Domination shit, and Dundee battle Shuffle T and Vega battle Shotty P. Those are great battles. Go check those out. But to have battle rap back in Australia, I'm dying. It's super dope. I can't even begin to describe. This is Tasmania, so it's not mainland. It's Hobart in Tasmania. It was a little province, a state of Australia. So it's its own little island, but good people, good talent. I'm really excited to see the rest of the card. I wasn't expecting this at all. This is super out of left field. Definitely check them out, and subscribe to Greeley's THC channel for more updates. Shit's popping off. He's on Instagram, I think it is. They're not really on Twitter so much, so if you want to follow them, that's Instagram. Huge news for the Southern Hemisphere. Oh my God. If you've got New Zealand and Australia active, it's a beautiful thing. So we will keep tabs on that and see where that goes. But man, there's a lot happening this week, and we covered it all. So I guess we'll wait to see. BattleBot is recharging. He should be back next week. Should be no problem. And Path will be back next week as well. And we will talk about all sorts of things battle rap related. Shouts out to everybody watching. Shouts out to everybody at home. If you want to like and subscribe, I won't stop you. I'm not against it morally. But remember to follow us, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. We're on all that shit. Discord link in the sidebar. Discord, man. It's fucking great. I wouldn't ask you to subscribe. I already said all that. And we're going to have a great show next week. Bong bong. Great show. Thank you, Karen. She's a great supporter. Karen, an avid battle rap fan. Yeah, so let's Path, when you take us out. Da 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 da.